Welcome to the Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva, and today we're going to get some insight into football. My guest today is Jake Grande. He's the head football coach for the Jersey Flight Arena football team. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Anthony. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So usually I start my guests where they went to college. So where'd you go to school?
I got the privilege of going to Wilkes University up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Great school, great area, and I was excited to attend that university.
Great. So let's go back in time. Let's go back into high school. When did you start thinking about college? Was it freshman year, senior year? When did it all begin?
You know, for me, it was probably right around my junior year. That's when the college fairs came to town, and you went around to all the tables, and you just got to, see these universities from all over the states and all over the country, and you were just excited about an opportunity to kind of leave home and get out there on your own. And so that's kind of when I did it, filled out all the postcards and sent them away and waited to get mail. As a kid, you didn't get a lot of mail, so when stuff started coming in for you, it was fun.
So now, did you go play football there?
I did. After that, at the universities that I applied to, I sent out tape back in the day, VHS tape, mind you, I haven't made those in a while. Sent out VHS tapes to a lot of schools in the area, and Wilkes was one of them. Sooner or later, their coaches called me and asked me to come up for a visit to the university.
So were there other schools involved as well?
There was. Delaware Valley, one around the area was one. Montclair State, New Jersey was another one that I stopped by and visited, all the way down to Randolph-Macon in, I believe it's Virginia. And got an opportunity to see a lot of schools, and I thank my dad for driving me around on those trips. I slept while he drove, but lo and behold, Wilkes had a special place in my heart, and I really enjoyed the time there. Great.
So now you go to Wilkes-Barre College. What's it like? How does it all begin there?
Man, it was fun. I came in undecided. I didn't really know what direction I wanted to be. Sports was always the biggest part of my life, so football is really what I was focused on and really enjoyed there. But when I went to Wilkes, I always thought to myself, if I didn't play football, would I want to go to school at the university I attended? And when I went to all the other universities, Wilkes had a downtown life. It had stuff going on. And honestly, I believed if I didn't play football, I could be maybe a professional snowboarder. They had the mountain right there. It's only 30 minutes away. They always gave, discounted passes for students. And I really enjoyed it. I just thought the nightlife and everything you had there, brought something, to my needs that I wanted to.
Yes.
Attend the university.
So now, give us an example of a season in football at the college level.
So at the college level, man, it starts in August. You get up there about 2 weeks before everyone. You move into a dorm early. You get up there, and it's tough. I tell people all the time, being a student athlete is one of the most difficult things somebody can do. You're literally engaged in, running, lifting, and you're just exhausted. And then all of a sudden classes start. And now you got, 15 credits you're taking. Some of these people that I went to school with, I was, being doctors or lawyers and all that kind of stuff, and their course load was tremendous. And I always gave those guys a lot of credit, and time management became a huge key to be successful. Mm-hmm. That's something that my older brother who went to Lehigh, he told me about when he there, because he said as a freshman it was the toughest thing he ever had to do. And he said learning the time management skill was a huge success booster for you. And a lot of your universities have those kinds of resources that you can use. And I just think a lot of times as a young kid, you're scared to go ask for help, or you don't want to be the guy that needs help. When really, if you take advantage of the resources those universities have, sky's the limit for you. So I was able to get in a situation where, I had already had an older brother to call, so I had someone to lean on. Right. I didn't have to go to those resources, but I had an opportunity where I was able to basically get up in the morning. You went to class, then in between those 2-3 hours you were lifting or working out, then from those you went to study hall, then you started practice, then you did studies at night, and in between there you tried to find a reason to get food. And that's really was your college life, being an athlete in college.
So now once you get to September, the games start?
The games start, and that and that's fun. People around campus know you play football. They get excited about the games. The faculty's excited. They come out. I got to play there, and what excited me is there's 3,000, 4,000 people there, and it's small college football, but it was fun. It was an intimate atmosphere where you had a lot of fun to play, and King's College was right down the square, and it was a rival, and that was the last game of the year, and you just had a tremendous respect for the program that my head coach built and that the university was able to establish through the years that I was there, and they continue to build now.
So now, once the season ends, then what happens? I guess at Christmas time it ends?
So Christmas time it ends, and then from there, believe it or not, you think to yourself, oh, they're going to get a break. You don't. you're back working for the next season. You literally get back, and now you're lifting even harder, more, working out even more. You're trying to focus on the mistakes you made last season, and then you gotta get a little break. Then spring ball starts, so then you're out there for spring ball, and you're back into it, and you're competing with your own teammates, trying to push each other to make each other better. And then lo and behold, you got your studies that are kicking into your second semester, and then as you get into college, you get in the swing of things, but you know it as much as I know. You got, macroeconomics, microeconomics, and all of the tough classes start pouring in on you. And that's where you really just got to make sure you do a good job scheduling your classes. Right. Don't overload yourself. Make sure you're doing your best to graduate on time in 4 years or 3.5 if you're super smart and you can get out of there in time. And but making sure that you're setting yourself up for success. I think sometimes college students, college athletes, they take on a little too much, and it kind of puts them in a hole. Yeah. It's a lot easier to start with a high GPA, and if you mess up, than it is to mess up and then climb your way all the way out of there. So I tell guys to make sure you're scheduling yourself right, to make sure that you're not putting too much on your plate.
And so once the season ends in the spring, and then school ends, what happens between school ending and then next August when you go see them again?
So that period there is you're home. You finally get an opportunity to come home. Your mom's excited. You're back in the house. A lot of times it's summer jobs, saving money for college. I came from a blue collar family, so if I made money in the summer, a lot of it was for my rent that following fall semester to put down payment on where I wanted to live, or I might have had a class where it requires you to buy a CD or some sort of electronic device or a new calculator for some of the classes. So, a lot of that is working that summer and then working out and then coming back early. I was fortunate enough to have a really good, strong core group of guys when I was in college that we got there my sophomore year, and we stayed our junior and senior year in our house. 8 of us lived together, but it was cost effective. We were able to get jobs around the area. I was fortunate enough to get a paid internship my senior year, so that really helped me live up there, and that kind of brought me into coaching football.
Oh, so now that brings me to my next question. So you graduate college and you become the head coach at the Jersey Flight. What's the route that you took to get to this
Gotcha. First thing I'll tell all college students, try to get a paid internship if possible, but also take an internship while in college in a field that you enjoy, something you enjoy, and that's what I did. I sent in an application to be an intern with the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Pioneers in the football department. Lo and behold, the head coach calls me, interviews me, gives me a job, thinks that I'm coaching at the university, doesn't even realize I was a student. He was a great guy. He passed away, but he was all about football and everything that it is to build a football team. And I was just excited to be able to pick his brain and be with him every day and learn. And once he found out I was a college student, he came to the game that Saturday to watch me play. And we had a special bond ever since. And what he did was, hey, you've been here, show me the best of what Wilkes-Barre has to offer, so when we bring players in, they have that opportunity to have that. So I did that. I went around, showed them the best gym, the best places to live, and all that kind of stuff. And when I was 22 years old, still in college, he ended up getting throat cancer. And I kind of got thrown into the mix of doing everything. He put it all back on my plate. And so I literally would be in that office at night. I still look back on it to this day. It was probably about 2 a.m. in the morning, and I would be doing playbooks or studying for an exam. Wow. And it was an opportunity that he gave me, and I didn't want to let him down. And that opportunity, I look back today, it took me to where I am now as the head coach of the Jersey Flight. From there, we made it to 2 Arena Bowls. We ended up losing them both when I was with him in the AF2, but he recovered from cancer, came back, and we helped build that organization along with Cosmo Di Nicola, who's the one of the owners now of the Philadelphia Soul. So we were able to build that. The AF2 at that time had disbanded that year, and then the AFL came back. I ended up going with one of our other coaches to Jacksonville, where I was the defensive coordinator. He had come up from Orlando. He was friends with Rich, and he was coaching with Jay Gruden for the Orlando Predators back in the day. Now, obviously, Jay Gruden's the head coach of the Washington Redskins. He brought me in down to Jacksonville, and I did the same thing. He said, Jake, go to work, find us the best that you can for the players. And that's really was my skill set, was going into these businesses, explaining about the passion I had for football, the sport, and what I got excited about is it's family fun entertainment in arena football. Yeah. It's affordable, and from there I took that internship, and then I got a job at Jacksonville Sharks and went to Jacksonville University. Got to go back to coach college football. And that's really where I found a passion for what you're talking about, the secrets of college planning, is helping those kids find an opportunity to come play college football, ask a lot of questions, help the parents with the process. And then from there, I went to Valdosta State University. I coached there. And my wife, who I love very much, and my son just had a 1-year-old a year ago. My wife is a physical therapist. She was looking for opportunities maybe to try to come back home. And, she's very good at her craft. And literally, she sends a resume out and got a phone call the next day, thus bringing me back to Jersey. And so she's the director of a rehab facility and brought us home. And then I get home, and Jersey Flight was launched. Probably not even maybe a month after I got home. My name was circling that I was back in New Jersey. I got an opportunity to interview, got the position, and now I'm here in Jersey building the Jersey Flight, and I'm really excited about this opportunity.
So now let's get into the Jersey Flight. What do you look for? What are some of the people that are coming in?
Okay, so really what it is arena football. It's an opportunity for, if people aren't familiar with it, is the next Kurt Warner story. It's guys that were in the NFL or in NFL camps that just didn't make the cut. But, when you come home, you need to be able to keep sharpening your tools, keep staying in shape, because the NFL, it's a long season. As you guys know, if you have any kind of favorite football team, people get injured. And all of a sudden, there's a no-name guy in there, and he's making a big play in the game, and they're saying he was just signed off the practice squad or signed off free agency. Well, when you're in that free agency period, at times, you need a place to continue to play. And that's what the Jersey Flight is. We give people opportunities to continue to play professional football at a high level and being able to keep sharpening your tools while bringing a winning product to New Jersey in hopes that these guys get an opportunity to get that shot back in the NFL. And some of them do. And, again, it's about an opportunity to continue to work hard and hope that when your number's called, that it happens.
So now, most of the guys that you get on the team, are they just all former NFL players or practice squad players?
So they
from college?
They could be college athletes as well. So there'll be a lot of local guys. We have 2 kids signed from Rowan University right here in New Jersey. Guys also from Rutgers. They had a chance in the NFL, but the guys at Rowan, they're smaller guys. They might not have got the opportunity or the look just because of height or anything like that. So now they get an opportunity to come in here, show that they can play at that professional level with that height, and there's little things that maybe get the knock down that the NFL won't look at them because they didn't hit the measurable.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, when you turn on the tape, when they see the numbers, that's when the measurements don't matter. That's the biggest thing is they have something to prove, and we get those guys from the college level. It'll be all the schools in New Jersey, all around the surrounding areas in PA, plus guys that are coming from all over the states that just want an opportunity to come and play at a high level and play for a quality organization that we're putting together.
So now, give a little sense of the team. How does the team work? When do you start? When do you end?
No problem. So the season will kick off about that first weekend in April. Our schedule is technically not finalized. It could be the last weekend in March. Working on all the arena dates now. But the season will kick off then in April and it'll go to August. It's a 16-game schedule. We'll play all our games at the Cure Insurance Arena here in Trenton. It used to be the Sun National Bank Center, if you're not familiar with the name change yet. It's a great arena, seats almost about 9,000 people. We're looking to pack it out with a lot of fans here from the surrounding area. About the teams, we have teams ranging from all the way Jacksonville, Florida, all the way up to our rival across the street here in Lehigh Valley. And so we look forward to playing a lot of these quality teams and building a team that these people in New Jersey can be proud of, and that's what really excites me. It's going to be a family affordable fun, so family of 4 can come to this game for less than $100, and that's food and drink and all that kind of stuff. As much as I'm a Giants fan or just an NFL fan in general, I still even cheer for the Eagles because I think Carson Wentz is a heck of a quarterback. But you can't do that. It's just expensive. To take a family to that game. But that's what we are. We're a family affordable fun where you can take kids or a group and not break the bank and still watch high quality products. And even after the game, these players are touchable, and that's what I care about. So after the game, everyone can come on the field and get autographs right after the game from the players, talk to them, touch them, take pictures with them, and that's something that you don't get access to sometimes at that higher level. You know what I mean? And that's what we try to do is instill family fun football in the city of Trenton, and we're really excited about the opportunity we have.
So now give a sense of what a whole year is for a football player that plays arena football.
So really his big thing is being in shape and working normal 9 to 5. So what we try to do is we try to practice at night. So they'll go 9 to 5. And then they'll have a job. So let's just say some of them are, work as a checker, bartender, perfect, bartender, waiter, anything like that. And then at practice time, they'll come at night and they'll work with us. They'll be housed locally in the area for about 6 months. And then from there, a lot of them either go back home where a lot of them fall in love with the area and they want to stay and work and they continue to work out and play. And they use the connections that we're able to build here, the gym facilities, the practice centers, and all that kind of stuff. They use that, the intangibles of being a Jersey Flight football player and use their resources here to help the community, give back, and be a part of the community. And that's what we look for. We look for our guys to hopefully stay around as much as they can, but a lot of it's working, training, and hoping for that phone call. Right. For example, they'll be in the middle of our season, NFL teams will call and say, hey, we want to invite you to camp. Guys will leave and sign and go continue to work out and hope they get an opportunity when that training camp arrives. And I've had guys do it, and it's exciting when it happens. I've had a few of them go from the AFL and play, or the AF2, and have an opportunity. One of the funniest stories was Joe Villani, when I was in the AF2 in Wilkes-Barre. He had the Atlanta Falcons calling because his college coach went to the Atlanta Falcons when we were in the championship game. And he said, I'm not going. I'm not leaving it for that opportunity. He's like, it's once in a lifetime. He goes, but it's also once in a lifetime to win a championship. So it was interesting, and I always look back at him. I said, I think you should have went. I was like, but some guys, they just get so excited about an opportunity to win with their teammates, and that's what football is. It builds character, family atmosphere, and a team effort. But a lot of these guys get opportunities, and we just try to give them that place to play.
So really, it's from the end of March to August, and then the rest of the year is really just working like a regular person.
The players work like a regular person. What we try to do is we try to be in the community. So what we're real all about is how we can help our community in Trenton. We do things at Boys and Girls Clubs. We bring people in, we'll build opportunities with our corporate sponsors. We want to know who they're working with in the community, how we can get out and how we can help to engage the community year round. That's our big thing. And then in turns, what we do is we do open tryouts. I want that guy who's, been working hard all season.
Is that all year round?
And that's all year. Open tryouts are all year round. We do about 4 or 5 of them a year. We're planning our next one. We just had our last one at the Morristown Fieldhouse in Morristown, New Jersey. Had about 50 guys out there. Signed 3 or 4 guys from that tryout. So every time, I tell guys all the time, when I watch your tape, if I think you might be that guy, I'm saying, come to this tryout, man. Show me what you got. You never know what'll happen. And we've signed guys from that because I want guys to know that this is an opportunity where, as long as you're working hard and doing the right thing and preparing yourself, you never know what's going to happen. And when that opportunity knocks, all you got to do is answer. But if you're not ready for it, training year round and keeping yourself ready, the opportunity will slip by.
So now, what are some of the requirements? I mean, is the 40 time a certain time, or else you can't go?
So no, it's open for everybody. 40 time is definitely what everybody knows in sports as measurable about how fast you are. It's definitely important for the wide receiver, DB type positions. When it comes to O-line, D-line, it's not as prevalent. I tell people all the time, I'm the big guy on sleepers. I like to find the guy that maybe everyone thought was a little too small or a little too short or a little bit like, just I see something and maybe somebody doesn't. And, that's something where I like to give people a lot of opportunities. And the good thing is as I find guys throughout the year, we have opportunities in Jersey where you can bring people in on waivers that, have an opportunity that I think they can play for our football team and come try out during the season. And I sign them for a 4-day workout. They come in, they compete against our own team, and if they're better than somebody else is going to get cut and they're going to replace them. Wow. So everything in this, when it comes to football and at a professional level, it's competition every day to keep your job, because there is somebody that's in the shadows working hard, continuing, looking for that opportunity. And when they get it and when the lights come on, it's your job to make that opportunity happen.
So now a football player graduating from college isn't that big, doesn't go to the NFL, doesn't get drafted, doesn't get any of that. This is a good avenue for them to take.
This is a perfect avenue for them to take. It's an opportunity for them to showcase their skills that they got overlooked. And if you don't like watching those NFL 30 for 30s when they show that guy who did get overlooked, those stories are my favorite. There's guys that always get overlooked, and it happens all the time. Kurt Warner is probably the one for arena football folks that is a legend story. I mean, the guy was a night grocer, stocking shelves, throwing touchdown passes all over the field in the Arena League, then becomes the third-string quarterback for the Rams, and lo and behold, 2 injuries. He's got the greatest show on turf. And so that's what these guys are looking for, that same opportunity. There's a lot of other guys in the NFL that just maybe people thought were too small at first. London Fletcher came from a D3 university, started 14, 15 years in the NFL. Those types of guys are out there that literally that this avenue that we have for them is an opportunity to continue to grow and develop and let the NFL come scoop them up, or the CFL. CFL is a great place to play as well.
So now, how about practice schedule? What's your practice schedule?
Yeah,
like?
so what we do is we try to practice about 2 to 3 days a week, and it's at night, so they can get the 9 to 5 like we talked about in the area. So we practice at night. Usually it's about an hour and a half of just good work. Practicing our timing, getting our routes down. Arena football, you score a lot of points, a lot of touchdowns. If you like touchdowns and excitement, that's what arena football is all about. I started my career on the defensive side of the ball, coached a little bit on the offensive side as well, but defense coordinator I have been, and the goal is just to get a couple stops a game to keep you in it. And that's what you do. You come to practice every day, about an hour and a half, and you put in the work. You get your work in and get off the field.
Yeah.
And try to stay healthy. It's a long season. You only have about 21 guys on the roster total.
Wow.
So a couple injuries. You could have been in training camp, and the first thing I'll tell you when you leave training camp, if you didn't make the team, stay in shape, because you never know what's going to happen. And that's the opportunity that these guys have is to practice at night, work hard, have a good job, and continue to grow and score a lot of touchdowns here in Jersey and bring some really, really fun excitement. And some guys, once they get here and they get this arena football juice and they get a good job, they don't want to leave. And so that's what we're hoping. And we need that crowd juiced up at the Cure Insurance Arena when we open up in April.
So now, this is only one particular arena football league. Are there other arena
Yeah, there's a few other leagues. You have the AFL, which is considered the upper tier of the indoor league, and then you have the IFL out west. You have one down in Texas, and then kind of our conglomerate on the East Coast, and then you have the AAL that's kind of also intermingled in between there. They're all great leagues, all great opportunities. A lot of times what we do is we look for the best local talent we can. We want guys that played around this area that are close to home, bring their family, their friends, and they want to stay close to home. Do we get guys from out west and all over? Sure. It's just the nature of the game and recruiting and convincing them to come play for me in Jersey. But the opportunities that guys have, the league they use out west kind of has a little bit different rules, but still a great place to play. Great opportunities out there for student athletes that are in the football and want to continue their career, and there's tons of them out there.
And how did they find you?
So what they do is they can go to www.jerseyflightfootball.com. My email's on there. It's the letter. They'll put it out here too on this on your show at the end of the credits. They said, but my email address is the letter J, my last name Grande @jerseyflightfootball.com. They go to the website, click it, email me their tape, send me an email. They can even say they saw me on your show and get an opportunity to come. We always post our open tryout dates on our website. When they're upcoming, we'll literally say, hey, just keep checking the website and refresh. A lot of times it's all about venues and timing and getting all my coaching staff together to put the exact date and time. But the next one will be for sure around that January time frame. And then we'll have one more at that middle to February time frame right as we kick off season. And just see, it always happens. We always end up having one extra spot right at the end, right before camp. And I like to give it to, like I said, I'm that guy. I like to find the guy that's been the hungriest, and those guys always seem to really put a heck of a lot of effort into it, and it always excites me because I tell guys all the time, the hungrier you are, a lot of times, the veteran guys, man, those young and hungry guys, they keep them juiced up, and they produce even more too as well. So it's exciting. So
we're coming to the end of our show.
Okay, great.
So usually I ask my guests, what advice do you want to give to the families out there? Their sons are playing football. They want to go to football for college. What advice do you want to give those people?
Man, the first thing I got to do is speak directly to the student athlete. And tell them that they need to make sure that they do the research. That's something that, when I was coming out of college, the internet was going up. Google first was just coming around when I was like a junior. And so the opportunity now you have to research is tremendous. Find the schools that you want to go to. And research, get all the information. For parents, the same thing. I'm going to tell you to do your own due diligence in them. And then find out the price point of what you can afford per year, know what it is, and look for the schools that you can afford. You'll be able to cut down your list tremendously just off of that. There's some great universities out there that are well priced that you can go to, and there's some other universities that, unless you get I know in my case, unless you got an academic or an athletic scholarship, I couldn't afford to attend those universities. But that being said, there's so many great universities filled with tons of great professors and college coaches that really that can take you to another level in wherever you play. So I'll tell that to the student athletes first is do your research, and then the same thing for the parents. Find the schools that you can afford and have that conversation where you sit down with your student athlete and explain to them what the situation is. I feel like sometimes, parents, and I know I just became a parent, but you don't ever want to look at your kid and say, no, I can't provide this for you. But at the end of the day, that conversation needs to happen so they know what to look for. Not every kid is going to get a full athletic scholarship. Not every kid's going to get a full academic scholarship. But a lot of these universities, they do need-based financial aid. They do they call them packages. They put packages together based on your academics and your needs. And the other thing I'll tell them too is look at the universities. They all have different types of scholarships that they offer. Everybody's fighting for them, but it doesn't hurt to give them a try, to try to get there to the universities. And that's what I'll tell everyone out there. There's so many universities. There's so many great opportunities out there. Don't limit yourself. Do a lot of research. Build that Microsoft Excel portfolio with all the schools, how much they cost. And then for the student athlete, send your tape out. Give a chance. Keep reaching out to the coaches and find the best fit for you. I tell them that all the time. If you didn't play college football, would you go to school there? That's the key. Because if you don't, a lot of kids end up transferring. I had a lot of friends that came to universities and just said, I only came here for football. And I just said, I got the best advice, and a long time ago was go where you to school, where you go if you didn't play football.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it for the time.
Yeah, no problem. So you've been watching The Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva. Until next time.